Have you ever been nervous heading down a steep incline before? Well, today on AYL, I certainly am. I'm Ria Rossi Booth.
And I'm Chad Booth. Join us as we discover a surprising 4x4 playground that's right in our own backyard. We'll show you where it is.
Then we'll explore a land of color that offers more than just desert beauty.
Finally, we'll look closely at a new ruling that could end snowmobiling as we know it. Keep it right here for At Your Leisure.
Wow, Chad, nothing like four-wheeling in our backyard.
That's true. It's almost like being in the pyramids, huh?
It is. Hi, welcome to At Your Leisure. I'm Ria Rossi Booth.
And I'm Chad Booth, and we are in Tooele County today for At Your Leisure. You know the saying, the Wasatch Front is your home and Tooele County is your backyard. Well, we are exploring the backyard today, and what a fun time we are having. We are in Sunshine Canyon. This is easy to get to. You come out of Tooele and you head south on the highway, and you'll see a sign for Sunshine Canyon after you go through Stockton. And it's not a very far drive. As a matter of fact, it is a pretty rapid transit for people who along the Wasatch Front who want a great day of four-wheeling.
Oh my gosh, it's so quick and so easy to get here, but we're like in the 5 Mile Pass area, right?
That's right. Sunshine Canyon ties into the 5 Mile Pass recreation area, and this is really about as close to cross-country travel as you can get in northern Utah, because there are so many roads and old mining sites out here to travel in and around, like this thing that we just came up. Now, when you saw the beginning of the show, you got the big picture of the area. Let's look at it in a little detail.
You're right on the peak of the 5 Mile Pass. This is known for its recreational purposes. We have a lot of campers, we have a lot of ATV riders, a lot of hikers, and mountain bikers that come up in this area. So they come out here 30 minutes, 40 minutes out, where they can have an experience like none other.
After today, I have a whole new outlook on Tooele. It's kind of like a mini Moab. There's just so many things that you can do out here. It's been a lot of fun for the first time, you know, coming out here, nice weather.
We have well over 200 miles of trails. As you can see, as you look around, there are trails everywhere. And they're marked, but you can have an experience on level or certainly a more aggressive hike.
I'm telling you, you talk about a panoramic. It's beautiful. The view is just stunning.
I love kicking around old mine sites, particularly when you get a perspective of it. I mean, take a look at this. This was probably done 75 to 100 years ago. Technology was very different. It was very labor intensive. And so I look at that and go, how much human effort did it actually take to move all of that overburden out to get at the ore, whatever it was they were mining?
I do not think we should, I don't mind that one, but the next one is bad. It's really steep.
Well, okay, I'll go down here and I'll cut over there and go down there.
No, I'm getting out. Jared, you're not a wimp if you get out.
The problem is, Ria, that now you have to walk down.
I can't.
Certainly got my heart beating pretty fast going up and down some of those trails.
That really steep hill, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little nervous. I thought I wasn't gonna make it.
Take a chance. You won't ever regret your time out here.
Well, now you've seen a little bit of this beautiful area up here, and thank you, Jared, for the little tour. It was wonderful.
Thank you.
You got such a great county.
For the desert mountain landscapes and the green of the pinyon juniper, it's time for us to go to our travel adventure, and we are going to take you to a story with a little bit different hue.
You and I think of pink as one color, but it's a riot. It's kind of like I explain to people, like they say the ocean is blue. It's not really blue.
Color. It's not something we think too much about generally. It's just kind of everywhere. The more you pay attention to it, though, the more you realize just how many different shades and variations are out there. Here in the quiet frontiers of southern Utah, color is certainly a prominent feature. Sometimes it's green, other times white, but it's always dashed with a healthy dose of reds and oranges. This is definitely the case at one Utah state park off Highway 89, where shifting sands are a hallmark, along with the color pink.
Coral Pink Sand Dunes is a multiple-use recreational area. We cater to both the motorized and non-motorized users. As you can see, it's pretty vast. There's a long, narrow stretch of sand dunes going from the south, which is the Paiute tribe boundary, which is Arizona, all the way up to the Hancock Road, which is the northern boundary of the sand dunes. If you look to the east, there'll be a Moquith Mountain right there, and that's where the dunes stop at that because of that mountain range, and they come to where we're at standing right now. The state park has 21 sites for camping. Visitor center, within that campground, we have a modern bathroom with showers, flush toilets. We have a day use area, which has two sides of it. One's fairly new, and one's that been here since the park was established. And it is used fairly well.
Coral Pink is one of those destinations that always offers something new. Most riding and hiking areas are fairly consistent in that their trails and features are always in the same place. Here, the sands are in a constant state of flux, giving explorers something new at every turn. That being the case, though, you also need to keep your wits about you.
If anybody rides sand dunes, you know it's pretty unpredictable because you always have the unexpected drop-offs because of the wind, how they change the sand dunes. But it is a really magnificent place to go because you never know exactly what you're going to get. You can be here on a cool, calm day and you just watch the beautiful scenery, or you can be here on windy days where it's pretty amazing to see the wind whipping over the sand dunes and to see how they're actually formed.
Coral Pink is the poster child for multiple-use recreation. The sand is the perfect medium for open riding since it's always in motion, but at the same time, it's a haven for hikers in search of something new. Even here, the motorized versus non-motorized conflict has arisen.
We get a lot of different opinions. People believe that this should be used only for the scenic aspect of it. However, the mission for the park itself is to educate the users, both the motorized and non-motorized users, of the opportunities for both sides. If it wasn't for both sides, there wouldn't be a use for this area. You have the motorized use because people like to recreate that way. Then you have also the scenic part, which is some of the most beautiful pictures that can be taken in serene areas. But trying to get people to understand both sides is kind of a daunting task, but I think we've done a really good job here.
That balance is obvious, as both spectrums of recreation are welcome, with mutual respect being as important as the ability for each to explore in their chosen way. The dunes are a part of a much larger environment of sandstone and rock that at one time was a collection of barren sand as large as the Sahara Desert in Africa. For millions of years, the dunes sat under the ocean, and once tectonic plates shifted, they found themselves high and dry, creating the landscape we recognize today. That scale is readily apparent in just how many other world-renowned destinations exist within an hour of Coral Pink.
We're in the middle of what they call the Grand Circle, which consists of most of the national parks. You have Grand Canyon to the south of us, Bryce and Capitol Reef to the north of us, and then the Grand Staircase Escalante National Monument, which encompasses most of eastern Kane County.
Those national parks may be a draw, but Coral Pink offers experiences none of the others can match. The dunes are easy to find right off Highway 89 on Sand Dune Road, about 22 miles west of the small town of Kanab. Our eyes are constantly distinguishing between different shades of color wherever we go. Normally, we may not notice it so much, but out here you can't help but be awed by just how colorful the natural world can be. From Coral Pink Sand Dunes, I'm Stephen Heumann for At Your Leisure.
Are you pushing the limits of riding? Are you holding the steepest side hills? Carving the toughest lines? In the deepest powder? The 2016 Ski-Doo sleds. Are you riding or are you watching? Ski-Doo.
You go through the day-to-day repeating what you did yesterday. Don't you wish you could access that piece of your life that's missing? Find the beauty, serenity, family fun, or anything else that's missing from your life in the Cedar City, Bryan Head area. Gain access to your adventure, whether it's camping, hiking, the arts, festivals, or just a getaway. Visit cedarcityayl.com for details on all the adventures that you can access in scenic southern Utah.
It doesn't matter what kind of adventure you're searching for, at Utah State Parks, you'll find it. This week, explore the largest collection of Anasazi pottery in the Four Corners region at the edge of the Cedar State Park Museum in Blanding, Utah. The park is actually the remnants of an old Puebloan village, complete with a 1,000-year-old kiva dwelling that you can climb down into and explore. Enjoy programs for adults and children, including archaeology and art exhibitions. Be inspired by the prehistoric and contemporary American Indian cultures of the Four Corners region on display at the museum. Park facilities include a short paved interpretive trail and a picnic area. Edge of the Cedars is located off Highway 191 on 400 North in Blanding. Utah State Parks, adventures for everyone.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure, and we've got a really cool product review today. It's the Pioneer 700 four-seater. Come on, let me show you how cool this thing really is.
The Pioneer has over 1,500 pounds of towing capacity and 1,000 pounds of cargo capacity. One of the things that I was really impressed with was how tight the Pioneer could turn, which is amazing for a four-seat machine. It's also very quiet and very smooth. We were going down dirt roads at 30, 40 miles an hour, going right over the washboards, and nothing was rattling, nothing was making noise. You thought you were going down an asphalt highway. One of the things that I really like is that it's designed and developed and built in the USA.
Now the Pioneer comes with a lot of features that are pretty much standard on the machine, from the nets to these these hard rotocast plastic doors. The seat is very comfortable and it has a lot of padding in it, and it's also very open. So the steering wheel is extremely easy to get in and around, so it's not like you're dropping into a machine like some of them. Now up here in the front, you can see it has a standard double A-arm front suspension, locking differential. The tires link up extremely well. We've already put it through a pretty difficult rock test, and it did extremely well, and the tires didn't slip at all coming out of that. This has a standard transmission just like your car. It's a 3-speed transmission. The first time we were driving it up the road and it started shifting, it was kind of a freaky thing, but after you realize what it's doing, it's fantastic. And it really comes into play when you're heading down hills, because it's just like a car. It's using the compression of the engine, it's in gear, and it's not free flowing down a hill. So it does extremely well when you're out four-wheeling with it. Now here in the back, we have a standard bed that has a hydraulic lift on it, works very well, and you also have a full dropping tailgate, so you can easily get stuff to slide out. You can make this a real workhorse, but you gotta ask yourself, why do they have these nets back here to keep my cargo in? Well, because this thing can easily shift from a 2-seater machine to a 4-seater machine. You just lift this up, drop this down, lock it in place, and now all of a sudden I have room for a seat on this side and another one on the other. And you can see these seats are, very comfortable. Even I'm 6 foot and I fit back here very nice. Kids will fit back here perfectly. And then you can also lift up the other seat and you're set for, lots of room back here. It's very comfortable. You've got your doors. I mean, this is a really unique system, because not only could you take it hunting one day, but you could take your family out the very next day and have a great time in it. But what you really need to do is go out and talk to Dave or Russ at Stedman's out in Tooele and let them show you all the cool features about this new Honda Pioneer, because it really is a neat machine. Well, I'm Darren Kinder. We'll see you next time.
It's time to put your year in gear during the Polaris XP sales event. Get rebates up to $1,000, financing as low as 1.99%, and more. Our most popular Sportsman comes with a free 5-year warranty. You could save up to $1,000 on accessories when you take home a Ranger XP. It's all part of the year's best deals on the world's biggest off-road lineup.
Stedman's Recreation. People might tell you it's 300 miles out here, but remember, it's really only 30 miles back.
Our slogan is Service to the Power 3, and a lot of people ask me, what the heck is Service to the Power 3? Well, we look at ourselves as servers.
We're here to serve you, to serve the customers that come in the door. We have all gold certified mechanics that are the highest level you can be. And
the employees that work here, everybody's an enthusiast.
If somebody comes in and asks about a particular product, we can tell them a personal experience on that, other than just telling them a spec sheet out of the book.
I hope to earn everybody that comes in here's business. We're here to serve you, not sell you.
Oh, welcome back to At Your Leisure, everybody. Oh, we're having a great time out here four-wheeling. We started out with sagebrush, we move up to the pinyon junipers, and then we get up into the alpines. It's like, it's everything. We've covered it all.
It is, actually. If you go right out in the middle of the valley, it's almost like a desert lake bed. So you've got, in a trek of, say, 30 miles or even 20 miles, you go from lake beds all the way up to aspen and pine trees on all these cool, gnarly, twisty, turny, little diverse trails in the system. And you know, people drive out through 5 Mile Pass and they see those low hills and the dust and everything, and they go, that doesn't look like too much fun. They have no idea there's so much out here.
I know. And like, we are literally in our backyard. We're like 30 miles outside of Salt Lake, and we have this fabulous 200 miles of trail.
The real Tooele County, I believe, in my opinion, is a great place everybody wants to live, and we're a great secret. We're the horsepower capital of Utah, certainly because of the wild horse population that we have a lot of here in Tooele County. The horses got a tradition here in Tooele County, but for the motorheads, we measure engine power and horsepower. We have a lot out in the Bonneville Salt Flats, as well as Miller Motorsports Park. Tooele County has some of the best rock climbing spaces in Utah, as well as some of the best Jeep and off-roading. We have some alpine areas deep into our mountains, as well as the salt flats out in the west. We also have a lot of rangeland and rolling hills. While Utah, Salt Lake, Weber, and Davis, they're shutting down four-wheel access to a lot of off-roading, we have plenty for folks to enjoy right here in Tooele County, right next to where most people live. So in a day, you can make a short drive out here, spend all day playing out in the sun, and then head back home all in one day.
Really, thanks so much for taking me out here today. I mean, the whole day we got to spend out here.
That's true, and the whole day is the important part, huh, Ria?
It is, not just a couple hours.
That's right, well, or a half hour, as you might be encountering. Well, right now it's time for us to go to our trailhead adventure. You know, we fought hard to keep these trails open, not only here, but across the entire West. In the last land use planning process and the last travel plan process for the BLM and the Forest Service, a lot of these trails were seriously threatened by environmentalists who don't think that motorized should be part of multiple use. And through organizations like Blue Ribbon and USA All, we were able to protect some of this in the planning process. But unfortunately, they're at it again, and this time it's on the snowmobile side of things. The new winter travel plan from the Forest Service is out, and some of the alternatives are a little bit frightening. You need to pay attention to the story and prepare to get involved in the battle.
Winter and summer, different in every way. Polar opposites, you could say. Motorized recreation is different too, with summer on the dirt, winter on the snow. Wheel-based OHVs have been limited to trail systems in most areas in an attempt to prevent resource damage and protect the environment. Snowmobiles, on the other hand, well, they're part of a very different world. Snow falls as much as 15 feet deep in their playgrounds, which has allowed them to travel unfettered across country. Snowmobilers can head into some of the most remote locations anywhere, since their tracks disappear with the next storm and no damage is done to the environment. Now, one ruling looks to change that, putting snowmobiles on the same level as standard ATVs, which would change the winter sport as it's currently enjoyed.
The new rule just came out in January of this year, and it mandates that the Forest Service has to do winter travel planning, very similar to what took place for the 2005 travel planning rule for rubber tire sports. What's happening now is that we're kind of in limbo. We don't know exactly which forests are going to have to undergo winter travel planning, because some have already done enough that may satisfy the new rule.
According to the rule, unless a forest has already made their off-highway vehicle decisions through a public National Environmental Policy Act process, all forests that receive sufficient snow for snowmobile use must now undertake winter travel management planning. In short, The new regulations state that a forest is now closed to cross-country snowmobile use unless the landscape is officially designated as an open play area. The Forest Service is currently in the process of deciding how to proceed and was unable to comment on camera regarding this new ruling. But snowmobile advocates are still hopeful.
We are thankful that the Forest Service does recognize that there's a difference between summer and winter recreation. That being said, we know that non-motorized winter users would prefer to have all of that public lands to themselves. So now it becomes a question of, was there enough winter travel planning done on each individual forest or each individual unit? Did it have a very open and public process? And if so, they may not have to undergo additional winter travel planning. When winter travel planning does take place, the culmination is going to be a brand new map, and it's going to explain where snowmobiling can and cannot be allowed. And then at that point, there will be new designations made as far as routes and as far as open areas. And then I think that would be the key, is that's where we have to get involved. It's a very intensive process for the public to go through and undertake winter travel planning. It's a lot of meetings, it's a lot of reading, it's a lot of writing. And so that's not something that the snowmobile community has always been that good at.
In the coming months, each national forest will announce whether or not they'll have to go through a new planning process. For those forests that do need to make a change, the procedure will begin with a public comment period open to recreationists of all types. That window of time is where changes can be made and the voice of the people heard. Until then, it will be important for everyone to pay attention as the Forest Service evaluates their current management plans.
Make sure that you're aware of what's happening in your favorite spot. And then once you do that, then you'll be in the know as to whether or not winter travel planning is really going to come to fruition. People understand that if they don't get involved in the winter travel planning, there's a good chance that where they like to ride could fall by the wayside.
And if you don't want that to happen, you'll need to get involved. Winter and summer may be different, but the rules of motorized recreation may become similar in 2015. From the Snowmobile Trailhead, I'm Terry Wood.
There's no deal like a no-brainer. And right now, that's what you're going to get from Arctic Cat. Get the best deals of the year on our performance-leading Wildcat 1000 at a no-brainer price of $12,999. Or our Prowler 700 Limited. It's a no-brainer at $10,299. It's the Arctic Cat no-brainer sales event. You can find it at Cutler's Inc. in Orem, Beer Sports Center in Vernal, K-Motive and Sport in Green River, Jorgensen in Richfield, and Advanced RV in West Valley. Arctic Cat. Share our passion.
Family, a simple word that carries more meaning than we can even understand. We base our entire lives around the smiles of our children and the moments that become cherished memories. At Ray City RV, we understand the importance of that family bond. As a family-owned business since 1946, we've been giving our customers the chance to make those memories in the backcountry of the West. Early spring savings on all Ray City RV camp trailers, fifth wheels, and motorhomes can make it more affordable than ever before. Ray City and Roy, turning dreams into memories one trip at a time.
Razor, Ranger, Sportsman, Ace. There's a Polaris to match your passion. Confident, comfortable, capable. That's Ace. With a solo cockpit, automotive controls, independent suspension, all-wheel drive, and up to 45 horses of fuel-injected power. Calling it revolutionary would be an understatement.
A mountainside trail, a day of speed that pushes your limits, a desert oasis that opens your horizons, a land of horsepower for every taste. Tooele County is all of them in one. It's time to experience a new adventure you never knew you were missing. It's time to find out what's just over the mountain. Tooele County, Utah. The Wasatch Front is your home. Tooele is your backyard.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure, everybody. Chad and I are here in the gorgeous Tooele County. And you know what's so fun coming up here? Because when you're four-wheeling, you don't know what you're going to run into. Look at this historical little monument we're sitting on. And,
Yes.
and this had to be something from a mine of some sort.
Oh yeah, it is definitely a mine site, and it's probably an old mine site because look at the construction methods used to put this together. This was...
And what is this apparatus here?
That, my dear. Into the trap door!
You just grow up.
All right. Well, that surprise
Oh, I
didn't
love
pan
this
out.
guy.
This surprise is going to pan out because we've got our first week's winner, or our current week winner of our weekly sticker contest. Saw this one, captured it right on the phone. Here, take a look.
Chad and I are in a parking garage, and I am taking a video of my AYL sticker, and I'm following this car, and it's 992 KYM. I'm gonna get a picture of him. You guys won. You're our sticker winner. Yeah, hello.
Every single solitary Saturday. If we can ever get on the website, you get anything free though.
I love you guys. I don't know what it is, but you won.
Congratulations, AYL sticker winner. Call us at 801-947-8888 and you will be a prize winner of Lizzie and Charlie's campground. What fun. We go out there every year, and great trails, great camping, great people.
Yeah, you got a cabin and an ATV rental, and you can just have a great time exploring dozens of trails just like these out here.
Beautiful Marysvale.
Oh, there you go. Well, right now it's time for us to go to our calendar of events.
And we've got that great Easter Jeep Safari out in Grand County that they have every year. You don't want to miss that. If you've never been, you should definitely go, but get reservations.
That's true. The trails do fill up, so if you get on right now and register, you'll have a chance to pick some of the better trails. And, you know, they get a certain number on them you can't take anymore. Second event we want to talk to you about is the May 2nd. It is the Fallen Peace Officers Annual Ride. They did this last year. They're going to do it again. In Grand County, they set up a trail for the peace officers, fallen peace officers, and the West Valley Colonels are sponsors of this. And what happens is you will ride, and every time you take a break, you're at a memorial for a different peace officer who gave his life in the line of duty. It's sponsored by West Valley City, and it's a great event. We look forward to seeing you there.
Great cause, great ride. All right, well now let's take a look at next week's show.
We're hitting the trail with a few hundred of our closest friends as Chad and Ria show off one of our favorite ATV events of the year. Then Darren and Jill Kinder will hit the road on the East Coast and explore a world you will want to visit by motorcycle this spring.
Next week looks like it's going to be an absolutely great show, Ria. You know, it's really fun to be in at your leisure, but I hope you find that it's also fun to watch at your leisure. I hope we're bringing you good stories. Thanks for joining us this week.
We really appreciate it. We just want you all to get out there and have as much fun as we do every week.
That's true. Remember, until we meet again, somewhere out on the trail, there's adventure around every bend, but you won't discover any of it
if you're sitting on your couch.
Exactly.
Let's ride.
We're going to ride. You driving? Well, right now it's time for us to turn our trailhead to our trailhead, our West Valley City project that's...
Hey guys, if you liked that video, you're going to want to watch all of our other AYL videos. You're going to want to like it, you're going to want to share it, and you're going to want to subscribe, right? See all the buttons right here? This is what you're going to want to do, right? Click on them, because we have some really cool videos, all kinds of behind the scenes stuff, bloopers of Alicia crashing and stuff.
Why are you going to sell me out like that, Steven?
So you want to click all of these things and subscribe to our channel, because At Your Leisure is awesome, and we'll see you here for more videos.